Well, tonight, cautious optimism from fire officials as they report progress with containment efforts. We have team coverage with the very latest. Andrew Adams, where people are being told to go as they're evacuated from their homes. But we start with Brianna Chavez, who has details from fire officials. Brianna.
Yeah, Debbie, police still have this area of blocked off 500 North and East Capitol Boulevard. We've seen lots of law enforcement agencies here throughout the afternoon into the evening, but a lot has changed in terms of what we could see visually of this fire. We saw lots of plumes of smoke, even some of the flames, but now that's not very visible, or it wasn't, at least as the sun was going down. But take a look at these images. A lot of this was captured from Chopper 5 earlier today. This all started around 4:30 this afternoon after what appeared to be a brush fire. Crews from about 6 different agencies responded to this area east of the Capitol. There's no official word on what caused the fire, and officials say that is too early to tell. It's also unclear tonight how many acres have burned, but the fire was close to impacting communication towers near Ensign Peak, and crews have also been able to fight that fire from above. We saw different aircrafts in the area, and we also saw firefighters heading up there. They were setting up perimeters near homes in case things got worse.
You know, we are cautiously optimistic, or cautiously, you know, our level of concern is cautiously down, but we always want to have that situational awareness up. We don't want to be complacent because things change, conditions change, and we want to be able to respond appropriately.
And Salt Lake City fire officials tell us that they will be transferring over this operation to the state in a few hours. They're going to be taking over. And now that the sun has gone down, crews are going to be working to get ahead of this fire. They say the change in weather has also brought better conditions for them to fight them. But we are starting to see the wind kind of pick up a bit. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported. No homes or structures that we've been aware of have been impacted as well, or have any damage, I should say. But again, mandatory evacuations are still in place for about 40 homeowners up Sandhurst Drive north of Dorchester. But they say they are still working to get this fire under control. And Debbie, just with the holiday weekend coming up, fire officials are just reminding everyone, especially if they're going to be setting off fireworks tonight, or not tonight, excuse me, into the holiday, to just be cautious. Just goes to show how quickly things can really get can really just go into chaos. Debbie, back to you.
All right. Yeah, Brianna, that is great advice. It's definitely so dry out there. And Andrew, it's been a very uneasy evening for a lot of those homeowners as they watch the smoke and flames from the distance. Evacuees have had no other choice. You spoke to some of them tonight.
Well, I did, and definitely some anxious waiting. We saw an elderly couple, 95 years old, we were told, and they were just watching from the Capitol up into their neighborhood as the smoke billowed, and just hoping that the flames didn't come close to their house. They said they just wanted dinner, and instead in an entirely different situation tonight. We heard a lot of stories like that as we spoke to evacuees. Now, as we told you, 40 homes have been under a mandatory evacuation. Untold others have been under a voluntary evacuation. The East Building of the state Capitol was set up as a place evacuees could go. We ran into another woman there who got an unexpected pounding at the front door from police. Initially, it was a voluntary evacuation for her, but then she got a notice that that evacuation was mandatory. She knew right away what she needed to grab out of her house.
Here's where you get the realization of what's important in your life, and I knew it was photographs and memories and journals of my beautiful life with my beautiful children and our family and friends. And getting all upset over things over which I have no control is not what I will do. So I can't control the fire. I can't control how they put it out. All I can control is how I deal with what's here for me to deal with.
She's been trying to stay positive through the whole thing. Now, this is the map of evacuation orders as they stand. There is a mandatory evacuation in place for everyone on Sandhurst Drive, north of Dorchester Drive. That also includes Twickenham Drive. Then you've had voluntary evacuations north of Ensign Vista along East Capitol to North Cove. And nobody has really had an evacuation of when they can go home. Just a minute ago, a firefighter went past me, did tell me that the mandatory evacuations are still in place, but people who have been in that voluntary evacuation area, they've been allowed to go home, is what we were just told a few minutes ago. Back to the studio.
Well, Andrew, that woman sure had an incredible attitude. We need to take a page out of her book. Thank you for that tonight. Well, tonight, firefighters are reminding people not to fly drones near active fires or wildfires. When that happens, they can't fly the helicopters that they are trying to use to help fight those flames. And it puts firefighters and the public at risk.
When we evacuate, we don't know what's going to happen to our home when we're gone.
Well, we all need to be prepared to leave our homes at a moment's notice and have those important things ready to go. We spoke to Wade Matthews with the Utah Division of Emergency Management about what you should pack.
We need to have copies of our important documents, wills, deeds, insurance, scan them into your computer and load them onto a flash drive.
Emergency officials say to have a small go bag with things like bottled water, food, and a change of clothes for everyone in your family. Other things, well, flashlights and batteries, as well as a first aid kit. One thing to remember, rotate and update what's in that bag. Try to do this every 6 months. Make sure it's not expired and that batteries are fresh. Yeah, that's